Welcome everyone. My name is Kristen and it's my pleasure to guide you here for these next 30 minutes of a power and flow. We'll just start however feels comfortable to sit on your mat. Taking just a deep inhale here through the nose, roll the shoulders up, back and down. A gentle releasing exhale breath. If it feels comfortable in your space, closing down the eyes or just casting the gaze downwards. Take a moment to drop the shoulders away from the ears, to unclench through the jaw, and just to find your breath. Without changing anything here, just notice the steady pace. Begin to deepen and lengthen slightly. Choose to do so today, inviting a count to the inhale, and then slow your exhale to match that count of your inhale. Taking on this Samavriti breath or equal action. A few more rounds of breath just like this. Inviting your hands just into the center of your chest. The chin and the nose down into the body. Just setting an intention for this time here on your mat. Or maybe just being open to receiving whatever it is your practice has in store for you. When you're ready, gently blinking the eyes open, taking the fingertips onto the mat here, rolling the shoulders up, back and down. Tending through the left fingertips here, and with your inhale breath, sweeping that right hand all the way up and overhead. Come back through center here. Reaching your right hand for behind the body, your left hand onto your right knee. Roll your right shoulder back behind you. Coming back through center, again, left hand finds the mat. Reaching your right hand overhead. Maybe you can go a little deeper. Inhale here, rise up, taking that twist. Once more, just to the right, really opening through that upper back. Back through center here this time. Just teeing the arms out to the side, spread the fingers wide, and open through the front of the chest with an inhale. With an exhale, sweep the hands forward, round through the upper back. Inhale here, open, find space, look up, and exhale, sweep back. Inhale, find a nice neutral spine. Taking that right hand onto the mat. Reach your left hand all the way overhead. Inhale, rise up, left hand behind you. Take your right hand to your left knee, roll your left shoulder open. Inhale, come back through center. Right hand finds the mat. Reach left hand overhead. Maybe going just a little deeper here. Inhale, rise up, taking your twist to the left. Inhale, come back through center. Keep your left hand tenting behind you. Bring your right hand back behind you. Uncross through the legs. Bringing the soles of the feet just onto the mat in front of the body. Take the hands to the backs of the thighs, broaden across the collarbone, and lean back with a nice flat back here. You can keep your hands supporting at the backs of the thighs, or perhaps reach them towards the front of the room. Keeping soft through the upper body. Maybe walk the heels in just a touch. Option to flex the feet just off the mat. Hug the knees towards the midline of the body. Stay here. Maybe the shins coming parallel to the mat. Just taking a couple of deep breaths. Holding into the body here. Releasing the feet onto the mat. Sweeping them off to one side as you join me in a tabletop position. Tabletop, hands underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips. Finding your cat's cow breath. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale to round through the spine. Few more deep breaths here. From your tabletop position, taking your right toes and tucking them underneath the body at the very back of your mat, press your right heel down to the floor. Press the back of your right leg up towards the ceiling. Just feel that nice deep stretch there. As you inhale, come back through center with the shoulders. Take your right foot all the way over to the left side of your mat, tent them down, and then look over that left shoulder. Feel a stretch to the outer edge of your right hip here. Inhale back through center. Taking your right foot straight out from your right hip here. Drop your right hip down. Point or flex into the ankle. Option to stay or float your left fingertips towards the front of the room. So you exhale, knee to elbow underneath the body. With your inhale breath, find length and space. 2 more with your breath here. One more exhale. Let your inhale find length. Releasing your left hand on the mat, followed by your right knee. Shifting the weight side to side with the hips. Tuck both toes underneath the body here. Send your sit bones back to your heels. Push the mat away. A nice deep stretch into the soles of the feet. As you inhale, pull the body forward, untuck the feet. It might feel nice to give the feet just a little pat out onto the mat. So you take your left toes and extend them to the very back. Press your left heel down, back of your left leg up towards the ceiling. Just find space. Inhale here, slide the shoulders back on top of the hips. Take your left foot all the way over to that right edge of your mat. Look over that right shoulder. Find space and sensation to the outer edge of your left hip. Coming back through center. Sending your left foot straight out from your left hip. Drop your hip down. Point or flex into the ankle. Pull the low belly to the spine as you float your right hand forward. Inhale to lengthen here and exhale. Squeeze in round underneath the body, knee to elbow. Using your breath here, inhales to lengthen and exhales to squeeze. One more time, just with your own breath. Inhale to lengthen, releasing your hands and your knee back down onto the mat. Tip the hips side to side. Sitting back onto the heels here. If this doesn't feel quite comfortable in the knees, you're always welcome to stand on the shins instead. I'm just interlacing the hands, rolling out through the wrists here. When that feels good, come back into your tabletop. Tuck the toes underneath the body. And then lift and hover the knees, just 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters up off your mat, depending on how old you are. That metric will work for you. Whenever you're ready here, take your time sending the hips up and back, transitioning into your very first downward facing dog. Take a moment, bend one knee and then the other. Spread the fingers wide. Tip the hips side to side. And when you're ready, finding both knees, just a little bit of a bend to press your belly back to the thighs. Feel that upper back and spine lengthen here. Tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, slide forward. Find yourself in a high plank position. From your high plank here, lower the knees onto the mat, untuck through the toes. Broaden across the collarbone, so hugging those shoulders back and down. Slide the shoulders past the wrist creases here, and then bend the elbows just a touch. Pull the low belly into the spine. The body will support you here. Maybe you bend a little more, bringing the shoulders in line with the elbows. Drop just the hips to the mat, and inhale, lift up head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale, release your cobra. Inhale again, squeeze the glutes, push the toenails down into the mat. Inhale, lift your cobra. Option is stick with your cobra or straighten the arms, finding an upward facing dog, maybe the thighs lift. As you exhale, transitioning the weight up and back to downward facing dog. Take your gaze to the top edge of your mat and walk or step the feet forward, finding a halfway lift, nice flat back here. Exhale to fold, and inhale, root to rise. Sweep the hands all the way up to the ceiling through heart center. Palms turn to face. If you'd like, you can pause and grab a sip of water here. And then just join me at the top of your mat, finding that mountain pose, rooting down through the 4 corners of your feet. Broaden across the collarbone, find length and space out through the crown of the head. And with your inhale breath, sweep the hands up to the ceiling. As you exhale here, your right hand comes forward to the front of the room. Take your left hand over that left shoulder and open your shoulders towards the side wall. Inhale, find length, let the hands come up above the head. Then exhale, left hand forward, right hand reaches back behind you. Twist open. Inhale here to lengthen, find space up above. Let your left hand catch your right wrist. Lengthen through that right side body as you take a little side body bend to the left. Option to stay just here or separate the hands and move into those oblique abs just a little. Inhale here, rise on up. Over to the other side, right hand finds left wrist. Lengthen through left side body. Exhale, tip over to the right. Maybe the hands separate here. Inhale, find length. As you exhale, tip and fold. Lead with the heart. Find a forward fold. Tuck the chin to the chest. Angle the crown of the head down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend the knees. Plant the hands. Step your feet into the back of your mat. Find yourself in a high plank. Slide the shoulders forward. You're welcome to lower the knees to the mat. As you exhale, find chaturanga. Shoulders stop in line with elbows. Untuck the feet. Inhale, lift your upward dog or cobra. Exhale, moving through tabletop or tuck the toes underneath the body and shift the weight up and back, downward dog. From your downward dog, drop the knees to the mat and find a child's pose here. If you'd like to rest in downward dog or flow here, you're welcome to add that intensity to your practice if you so desire. A couple more breaths. I'll meet back in a downward facing dog. Downward facing dog here. On an inhale, sweep your right foot up to the ceiling. Press your heart back towards your left shin. Try to lift that right heel up just a little higher. As you exhale, work to step your right foot through your thumbs at the top of the mat so that your right knee stacks on top of your right ankle. Hovering the hands here, lift the belly slightly off the thighs, powering up through that back left leg, and then slowly stack the shoulders on top of the hips. Inhale here, rise up with the hands. As you exhale, sink just a little lower. Goalpost here through the arms, open through the front of the chest. Inhale, send the hands back up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, tip forward at a 45-degree angle. Sweep the hands alongside the hip. Inhale here, rise up. As you exhale again, goalpost the arms, option to bend that left knee down to a hover. Inhale, drive up. And exhale, tip forward. Inhale here, find your high lunge and reach here. Stay. Take your right hand forward, left hand behind you, open towards the left side of the room. Inhale here, sweep both hands up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, right hand comes behind you, left hand forward. Inhale, come back through center. Left hand catches your right wrist. Lengthen through that right side body as you take a little side body bend here. Inhale, back through center. Right hand catches left wrist. And attempt that side body bend over to the right. Inhale, back up. As you exhale, hands come down to frame your front foot. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Option to keep that foot lifting. Slide forward and lower chaturanga. Drop your right foot to the mat. Untuck your left foot. Find upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now you're welcome to stay in your downward facing dog. If you'd like, you can move through your flow or maybe even hold high plank. If you need water, here's a great opportunity to drop to the knees and help yourself. We'll take 3 to 4 full breaths. Meeting back in your downward facing dog. In your next inhale breath, sweep your left foot up to the ceiling. As you exhale, work to step your left foot between the thumbs so that your knee stacks on top of your ankle. Hover the hands off the mat, lift the belly off the thigh, and then when you're ready, rise on up. Reach the hands up to the ceiling, drop tension out of the shoulders here. Sink just a little lower. As you exhale, goalpost the arms open through the front of the chest. As you inhale, send the hands back up to the ceiling. Tipping forward, sweep forward, find a 45-degree angle with the torso. Inhale here, rise on up. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Option to bring that back knee down to a hover. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tip forward. One more time, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, goalpost and hover that back knee. Inhale, drive up. Hold here. Taking your left hand forward, sweep your right hand to the wall behind you, open towards the right. Inhale, drive back up through center. And exhale, take your right hand forward, left hand back behind you. Inhale, back through center. Inviting right hand onto left wrist. Lengthen through the left side body as you tip towards the right. Inhale, come back up. As you exhale, left hand catches right wrist. Lengthen through right side body. Tip over towards the left. Inhale, back through center. Release your hands down to frame your front foot. Once again, step your left foot back to meet your right. Option to keep that foot lifting. Lower chaturanga. Drop your foot. Inhale, lift your cobra or upward dog. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Option to drop in a child's pose. Option to flow through high plank one more time, or simply just stay. When you're ready, looking between the thumbs, invite the feet to the top of your mat. Find a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale here, root to rise. Come all the way up with the hands. Release them through heart center. Palms turn to face. Grab water. Maybe you need to towel off at this point, depending on how hot it is where you're at. Then just begin to transfer the weight into your right foot here. Squeeze the hip bones together so you feel those abdominal muscles start to tone and engage as you pop up onto your left tippy toe. Broaden across the collarbone. Focus the gaze on something that's not moving in front of you as you attempt to just flex your left foot off the floor. Option just to stay here or draw your left thigh parallel to the mat. On an inhale breath, could you draw your hands up towards the ceiling? As you exhale, move slowly here. Right hand forward, and again, left hand opens towards the wall behind you. If you want to challenge yourself here, roll that left shoulder back and take your gaze to the left side wall. Inhale, hands come up above you here, move slow. As you exhale, left hand comes forward, right hand behind you. Again, to challenge your body and your balance, take the gaze towards the right. Come back through center. Release your left foot to the mat. Shake it out, right to left, left to right. Whew. When you're ready here, left foot presses down, broaden across the collarbone. Find that focal point here with your gaze. Pop up onto your right tippy toe. Find your breath. And then work to flex your right foot off the floor. Draw your right thigh parallel here to the mat. Stay and breathe. Keeping the shoulders stacked right on top of the hips here. Sweep your hands up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, left hand forward, right hand behind you, roll that right shoulder open. Maybe the gaze follows. One more breath as you inhale. Reach the hands back up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, right hand forward, left hand behind you. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, hands to heart center, feet find the floor. Take a moment to roll those shoulders back and down, tuck the chin to the chest. Flowing here with your breath. On an inhale, sweep the hands to the ceiling. As you exhale, tip and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step back, find your plank. Lower here, find chaturanga. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, meeting in a downward facing dog. You're welcome to move through your flow or take these next 5 to 6 breaths in any way that just feels really good. Now from your downward facing dog, on an inhale breath, sweep your right foot up to the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your right knee and try to touch your right upper arm. Inhale, send your right foot up and back. Exhale, right knee touches right upper arm. One more time here with your breath. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, pull it forward. Reach your right foot back behind you. Working to place your right foot once again in between the thumbs at the top of the mat. Drop your left heel down. So you start to open the body towards the left side wall. If you've got a yoga block at your home, you can take that block to the instep of your right foot. When you're ready, rise on up. Find your warrior 2. Shoulders stack on top of hips, hands reaching out. But this is a lot in the shoulders here today. Hands can just rest at heart center. The lower you go in your lunge, the more intense this will start to feel in the front thigh. Imagine squeezing the glutes together to further open through the pelvis. So you just settle in here. One more full breath. Top hand points up to the ceiling. As you exhale, sweep back. Go into your exalted warrior. Inhale here, come all the way through your warrior two. Let your hand find the block, or maybe your forearm finds your thigh, top hand to the ceiling, or if it'll go all the way overhead, rolling that left shoulder blade open. Flowing here with your breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, go back. Inhale, coming all the way forward and through. All right, from this downward dog, take an inhale and sweep your right foot all the way up to the ceiling. So exhale here, attempt to bring your right knee to tap the back of your right upper arm. Slide the shoulders forward. Inhale, send that right foot up and back. Exhale, pull it forward again. Inhale, find length. Exhale, squeeze it in. One more time here, send that right foot up and back. Exhale, working to place your right foot here in between the thumbs at the top of the mat. You're gonna drop your left heel down, and then just rise on up. Finding yourself in this warrior two. Drop tension out of the upper body, reach out through the front and back, and just sink just a little bit lower. Inviting your right hand up towards the ceiling here as you exhale, sweep the hands back behind you. Inhale, coming all the way forward and through. You can take your forearm onto your thigh, top hand overhead. You're welcome to use a block to the instep of your foot or reach down to the floor. Inhale here with your breath. Exhale, go back. Inhale, pull forward, extended side angle. Inhale, find that warrior two. Hold your warrior two. Your hands come onto the hips, straighten from behind your right knee. Heel to your left foot in just a touch. From here, tone through the abs. Take your right hip, tuck it underneath your left. Micro bend behind your right knee. Reach your right hand as far forward to the front of your mat as you can. Roll open through that left shoulder. Again, hand to the shin or to a block or the instep of your foot. Roll your left shoulder open. Stay here. Left hand can reach up towards the ceiling. One more full breath. Hands come down to frame your right foot. Walk your fingertips forward, pivot high up onto your left toes. Transfer the weight into your right foot and then lift your left foot all the way up towards the ceiling here. Finding your standing splits. Taking your right hand to the back of your right shin. One more breath. Releasing left foot beside your right. Inhale, find a halfway lift just at the top of your mat. Exhale to fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back, find your plank. Now you can choose to flow through your chaturanga or option just to find downward facing dog. We're all gonna meet in a downward facing dog just whenever and however you wanna get there. Take a few breaths to settle in, to add intensity, add a flow. If you'd like to decrease that intensity, just lowering the body into a child's pose here. Forehead and forearms onto the mat. When you're ready, make your way back into your downward facing dog. Sending the sit bones up and back. Take a few breaths just to settle in. Pedal right to left, left to right. Draw the shoulder blades up the back and away from the ears and onto your left side. Inhale, sweep your left foot up to the ceiling. As you exhale here, left knee finds the back of your left upper arm. Inhale, sweep that left foot up and back. Exhale, squeeze it forward. Inhale, send it back. One more time with your breath here. Exhale, squeeze forward. Inhale, send that left foot up and back. As you exhale here, step your left foot just in between the thumbs at the top of the mat. Dropping that right heel down. Inhale here, rise on up, find your warrior two. Drop tension out of the shoulder. Stack the shoulders on top of the hips. Squeeze the glutes to open here through the pelvis. And maybe you explore just your depth here on this side of the body. Couple more soft breaths here as you invite your left palm to face up. Exhale, right hand reaches back behind you. Inhale, pull forward. Find your extended side angle. Forearm to the thigh, forearm to a block, or option to the floor. Reaching your right hand up to the ceiling or palm face down overhead. Find your rhythm and your flow here. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, take it back. Inhale to warrior two. Through to your extended side angle. One more time here, back and forth. coming all the way forward here. Extended side angle. Bring both hands down to frame your left foot. Pivot high up onto the right tippy toes. Oops, sorry. We're gonna lift back up, find your triangle pose. Almost forgot that one. Drop or walk your right foot in. Send your hips towards that right heel here. Reach forward with your left hand and let your hand find the block or the instep of your foot. Roll your right shoulder open, hand to ceiling, or palm face down towards the front of the room. Find that hamstring stretch just on this side of the body. And as you exhale, hands now come down to frame your front foot. Pivot high up onto the back toes. Transfer the weight into your front foot. Walk your fingertips forward. And then work to lift that back foot all the way up to the ceiling. Bring your forehead closer to your shins. Try to keep lifting through that back leg. Maybe your hands catch for the back of your calf or your ankle. Whatever feels comfortable for you here. One more full breath wherever you are. Bringing both feet back down into a forward fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift, nice flat spine. Exhale here to fold. Inhale here, root to rise, coming all the way up with the hands. Releasing just through heart center. Take a moment and a breath just here. Hands at heart center. Maybe drop tension out of the upper body. One final flow here. So you inhale, sweep hands up to ceiling. As you exhale, tip and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step back, find your plank. Lower through to your chaturanga. Pull your heart up and through, back bend. And exhale, back to your downward dog. Walk your feet in, press your heart back. 2 more full breaths here, and then dropping the knees to the outside edges of the mat, finding your child's pose here. Letting your forehead and forearms just find the mat. Coming up onto your fingertips, lift the elbows off the floor, lift the forehead and walk your hands as far over to that right edge of your mat as you can. Releasing forehead and forearm back down. Breathing space into that left side body here. Inhale, coming back through center and all the way over to the other side. Inhale back to center. Holding center for just a breath, keeping the forehead off the floor. Take your right arm, tuck it underneath the body towards that left side wall. Letting your right ear and side of your head just find the mat, looking underneath your left arm. Come back through center. Left hand tucks underneath the body, palm face up. Look underneath your right arm. Couple more breaths just here. When you feel even on both sides of the body, bringing both hands back to the front. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Bring the knees back underneath the hips, shifting the weight here side to side. Sitting back, sending your legs forward to the front of the room. Grab a sip of water here if you'd like. Just sitting yourself just in the center of your mat. Sitting up nice and tall, roll the shoulders back and down. Invite your right foot into your left inner thigh. Right knee drops open. Fingertips behind the body. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, tip and fold, lead with the heart. Let your hands come to the ball of your foot. If you can't quite reach the sole of your foot, you're welcome to use your arm lengthener or a strap and just loop it around there here. With every inhale, imagine lengthening out from the pelvis. Let your exhale tip and fold. Inhale, rise on up. Release your strap just off to the side. Open your left foot to a nice big 45-degree angle. Slide your right foot into your left inner thigh. Left forearm sweeps into left inner leg. Right hand finds your right hip. Roll right shoulder open here. Take an inhale, and with your exhale, hinging into that side body. Maybe your right hand goes straight up to the ceiling, hand to the back of your head and open through the elbow. Or imagine catching for the pinky toe side of your left foot. Wherever feels good in your body here today. One more full breath. So you inhale here, rise up, plant your right hand behind your right hip. Sweep your left hand out in front of the body, rise up. Exhale, bring the sit bones back to the mat. Extend your right foot to the front. Bring your left foot into that right inner thigh. Fingertips behind the body, sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, tip and fold, lead with your heart. Let your hands find, once again, the ball of the foot, or use your strap here. Then just with each breath, lengthen, and then soften. Unclench the jaw, drop tension out of the shoulders. Take another full breath as you inhale, stack through the shoulders. Bring that right foot open to a 45-degree angle. Slide your left foot in. Sweeping your forearm into that inner calf here. Open through the shoulders. Reach the hand up to the ceiling, tip into that side body, open through the elbow, where hand can reach towards the pinky toe side of your right foot. Just a few more breaths here to try to soften, to try to go deeper. One more full breath. As you inhale, rise on up. Plant that left hand behind your left hip. Sweep your right hand across your face. Lift through the hip. Find that little back bend here. Releasing your sit bones back to the mat. Fold your right knee in to meet your left. Give yourself a little squeeze just at the center of your mat. This is your opportunity from seated to help yourself to anything else that you need, like a sweater or some socks. If you'd like to move through boat pose, you are more than welcome to take a few moments into whatever version of boat feels appropriate. And when you're ready, just rolling your body onto your back, hugging the knees just into the chest, a little hug or squeeze here. You can stay just like this. You're welcome to move just passively into the inner thighs, soles of the feet together, knees open wide. Or maybe you'd like to do a little more activation through those inner thighs, moving yourself into a happy baby, catching for the pinky toe sides of your feet, stacking the ankles on the knees. Whatever variation here. This is your final opportunity for movement before your final Savasana. So just taking a moment and intuitively move into your body, taking what you need from your practice. And clenching through the jaw, lengthening through the breath, and extending your legs long and heavy on your mat. An inhale breath here all together. Releasing, sigh, exhale. I encourage you to remain here in this final pose for as long as you can. Thank you for joining me here on your mat. My name again is Kristen. You can find me at MOVATI Windermere.